The problem here states that the mean of the following distribution is 57.6 and the sum of all frequencies is 50. Find the values of P and Q. Now, if you compare it with the last problem, you will see that in the last problem only the mean was given. Okay, the total frequency was not given. Okay, if you compare it with the last problem, see here, this problem that I discussed yesterday. If you see here, this total frequency was not given. Okay, we found it in terms of F, and only this mean was given here. This 18, this mean was given 18. Okay, but here if you see, there are two unknown frequencies, P and Q, or let's say P and Q here. There are two unknown frequencies and there are two pieces of information. First piece of information is that the mean is 57.6, and the other piece of information is that the total frequency is 50. Okay, so how do we start here? So clearly what is given here, let us list. Given here is x bar is equal to mean, which is equal to 57.6, and total frequency. What do you mean by total frequency? Total frequency means sigma f, right? Sigma f is given to you as 50. Okay, total frequency means total of what? Total of this column, right? Which means sigma f. Therefore sigma f is given to you as 50. Okay, so now if you're coming back to the problem, if you see the class intervals here are class boundaries because they are overlapping, 0 to 20 and then 20 to 40, then 40 to 60. These are all class boundaries. Okay, so what you do here is you make the first column for your class boundary. So the class boundary starts from 0 to 20, then 20 to 40, 40 to 60, and so on. Okay, you enlist all the class boundaries. Next one is frequency. Next column will be for frequency. So you write down the frequencies as they are: 7p, 12q, 8, 5. Okay, and since it is a frequency distribution, we shall calculate the class mark also, or the mid values also. Okay, class mark or mid values x. We shall not only calculate the we shall calculate the class mark, the mid values x. Okay, so what you do here is, you know how to calculate the mid values. 0 plus 20 divided by 2 will give you 10. 20 plus 40 divided by 2 will give you 30. 40 plus 60 divided by 2 will give you 50, and so on. Okay, so this you calculate the mid values. Next, my next step here is to find out the assumed mean. So which one should be my assumed mean? You take any value from the class mark to be your assumed mean, but I will take preferably from the middle. So if you see here, there are two middle values, 50 and 70. Okay, I have chosen 50. You can choose 70 also, no problem. Okay, I have, in this case I have chosen uh, 50. Okay, next what you do is, next you calculate the deviations about the assumed mean. D is equal to, next column will be for D is equal to x minus a. And what is a here? A here I have assumed to be 50. So for each column you will have a different x. So the first column here, what is D here for the first column? D is equal to, what is x here in this case? X here in this case is 10. So 10 minus 50 will give you minus 40. What about this one? Deviation. X here is 30. So 30 minus 50 will give you minus 20, which you have got here. Okay, and so on. Okay, this one will be 50 minus 50, 0. Next one will be 70 minus 50, which is 20, and so on. Okay. Next, since I'm doing this by step deviation method, so what I'll do is I'll calculate y also, not only deviations d, but also y, because I'm doing by step deviation method. So I have calculated this y. The next column will be for your y is equal to d by c. What is c here? Can anyone tell me what is c here? Y is equal to d by c. What is c here?
Sir, class width.
Class width. Okay, d c here is class width. And what is the class width in this case? Let me just see. Wait. Here I have Shivank. Can you hear me? Shivank. Sanjana. Sanjana, can you hear me? Kaushik. Can any one of you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes,
Then
sir.
they are pretending not to hear me.
Yes.
Okay, Ayantika.
Sir, I don't know.
Class width. What is the class width? Even before I asked the question, you said I don't know.
Sir, I don't know.
Aniket.
Yes, sir.
Class width. How much is the class width here?
Upper boundary.
Class width C, how
Lower
much?
boundary.
I told you how to calculate the class width. Class width is 20 minus 0 or 40
0,
minus
20,
20 or 60 minus
20.
40. Class width is 20. Okay, so that is why your C here is 20. Okay, so the class width here is 20. So now then my next column will be for y, because I'm doing by step deviation method. My next column is y is equal to deviation divided by class width, d by c. So deviation, for each deviation you have minus 40 here. How am I getting this minus 2? D here is or y here is, d here is minus 40. So minus 40 divided by class width is 20. Okay, so you're getting minus 2. Similarly for this one, y here is minus 20 by 20 minus 1, and so on for each one. Okay, let me do the last one here. Y is what? 60. D is 60 divided by class width 23. Okay, so for each one we are calculating y. And finally, you know that the formula for mean is contains summation fy, the product of frequency and y. You know that mean x bar is equal to a plus summation fy or sigma fy divided by sigma f. So you have a sigma fy here. So that is why you make the last column for f into y. So your f into y here is, for the first one, you have 7 into minus 2, which will give you minus 14. P into minus 1, which will give you minus p. 12 into 0 will give you a 0. Q into 1 will give you a Q. 8 into 2, 16. 5 into 3, 15. Okay. So this is how you calculate your each of your Fy. Now since I have a sigma Fy, so what I'll do here is I will calculate the total of this column. Okay. And the total of this column, sigma Fy, this comes out to be 17 plus Q minus P, the total of this column. Okay. And sigma F is what is the total of this column, because this is, if you see, formula also contains sigma F. If you total this column, you get 32 plus P plus Q. So this is what you're getting. Now we are ready to work. Okay. The mean here is given to be 57.6. So you put the mean here, 57.6. Okay. And the assumed mean here we have taken as 50. Sigma Fy we have calculated here. It is 17 plus PQ minus P divided by sigma F. Now sigma F, although we have found out sigma F to be 32 plus P plus Q, we also know sigma F to be 50, right? Because sigma F is given to us, the total of the frequency is given to us as 50. So I'll write 50 here. Instead of 32 plus P plus Q, I'll write 50 because I know sigma F to be 50. So all this will give me an equation in P and Q. Okay. So what I do here is 57.6 minus 50 is equal to 17 plus Q minus P divided by 50. And obviously this is multiplied by C also for step deviation method. So this is, and what is C? C is the class width. Class width here is 20 into 20. So this is 7.6 is equal to, cancel this 0 here. So you get twice 17 plus Q minus P by 5. And I cross multiply, you get 7.6 into 5 is equal to twice 17 plus Q minus P. Okay. So now next 7.6 into 5 you get as 38 is equal to, multiply 2 with everything, 34 plus 2Q minus 2P. Okay. So you get 38 minus 34 is equal to 2Q minus 2P. That means 38 minus 34 is 4 and 2Q minus 2P is twice Q minus P. So what is Q minus P here? Q minus P is 4 divided by 2. So actually we are getting Q minus P is equal to 2. So this is, let us call this as equation number 1. Okay. So we are getting an equation with the help of this mean formula. Mean is equal to, sets the mean for step deviation method. X bar plus is equal to A plus summation Fy by summation F into C. This formula is giving us what equation? This formula is giving us this equation. Q minus P is equal to 2. Okay. The need is how to find out the next equation. For the next equation, what we are going to do here is we are going to find out where we see what we must see here is the next piece of information. We have already used this information that the mean is 57.6. We shall use the next piece of information, that is the sum of the frequencies is 50. Okay, so now you have summation F, sigma F is equal to 50 given. Also, you write also sigma F is equal to 50. And how much is the total of this column we have found out? Sigma F, we have found out this to be 32 plus P plus Q. So this is 32 plus P plus Q is equal to 50. So this will give us our second equation. So if you see the first piece of information, that is the mean of the distribution, 57.6, gave us the first equation, which is Q minus P is equal to 2. And the second piece of information, that the sum of the frequencies is 50, is giving us our second equation. Okay, so this will give you Q plus P is equal to 50 minus 32, which is equal to 18. This is our second equation. So we solve these two equations simultaneously, equation number 1 and 2, to get our P and Q, the missing frequencies. So Q plus P is equal to 18. You add and subtract the two equations, you will get adding elimination method. 2Q is equal to 20. You get Q is equal to 20 by 2, which is 10. Next is Q plus P is equal to 18. Q minus P is equal to 2. Subtract. Two P is equal to, and the subtraction sign here also, 16. In P you get 16 by 2, which is 8. So what are the missing frequencies? The missing frequencies are Q equal to 10 and P equal to 8. Any question related to this problem?
No, sir.
No questions. Let us see the next problem. Now, next problem is nothing actually. In fact, the next problem is, except for one small thing that you need to understand, that it's a regular problem. That thing is that here, if you see in the question, they have not given you the class intervals. In fact, what they have given you is the lifetime of an electric bulb or an electric tube, whatever. Okay, uh, is given to you, but not in terms of class intervals. The number of electric tubes whose lifetime is less than 50 is 8, less than 800 is 23, and so on. So if you remember when you're doing histograms in class 9, I had solved this kind of a problem, and I had told you that whenever less than something is given, then you can take this as 0 to less than 50 means 0 to 50. Then again the next one, less than 100, actually means 0 to 100, right? Less than 100 means 0 to 100, right? And then again the next less than 150 means 0 to 150. But these intervals are not of our convenience because each interval starts from 0. So what you do here is 0 to 100, 0 to 50, the frequency is 8. Okay, so let me write here 8. Next, when I talk about 0 to 100, 0 to, less than 100 means 0 to 100, but I will write this as 50 to 100. But when I write this as 50 to 100, means this 23 includes 0 to 50 also. So the next frequency should be 23 minus 8, which is 15. Next one, this less than 150 means 0 to 150. But if I write this as 100 to 150, it means this 55 includes this 23. So this one is 55 minus 23. This is the frequency. This comes to 32. Okay. And the next one, less than 200 means 0 to 200. But I will make this 150 to 200. So what does it mean? This next figure, this 81, includes this 55. So I'll reduce this, remove this 55. And I'll get 26. Similarly for here, 0 to 250 means, to less than 250 means 0 to 250. But I will make this as 200 to 250. So this becomes 93 minus 81, which is 12. And finally, the last one, 250 to 300. This 100 includes 93. So 100 minus 93. The frequency here is 7. So these are my frequencies: 8, 15, 32, 26, 12, 7. These are all my frequencies. Okay. So the difference with this problem is that the class intervals are not given to you, and neither is the the frequencies given to you. Can anyone tell me what these are called? 8, 23, 55. What these are called? Auric, can you tell me what these are called? If you can hear me.
No, sir.
Okay. Anyone who can tell me what these are called? No problem. Even if you are wrong, try at least. Sadaf, can you tell me what these are called?
No, sir.
Sir, cumulative
Sir,
frequency.
And who was that?
Sir, me, Khushi. I'm just trying. I don't know.
Yes, it is cumulative frequency. Sometimes you speak sense also, Kushi.
Sir, sometimes, no, always it is you. Sometimes you understand that.
Oh, sometimes I understand. Okay. Fine. So these are actually cumulative frequencies. Okay. We are converting the cumulative frequencies to frequencies. That is the difference. Okay. So that is what it means. So whenever you see a less than something and less than something, remember that whatever number is given here in the other column, they have to be cumulative frequencies. And from cumulative frequencies, this is how you calculate your frequencies. So what you do here is, once you know that cumulative frequencies are given, you construct your class boundaries in this manner. Okay. See, I've drawn the table once again. I've drawn this lifetime in days, and I've given the frequency, and I've given the class intervals, the class boundaries, in fact, 0 to 50, 50 to 100, 100 to 150, and so on. The class boundaries I have given, and the frequencies I have calculated in the next row. Okay. So in fact, what I have done is I have rewritten the question in a convenient manner with the class boundaries and the frequencies. Okay. So once I have done that, now I'll draw my tables in the usual manner. Okay. So now you have your class boundaries here. For this, you have your frequencies here. Class mark 0 plus 50 by 2 is 25. 50 plus 100 by 2 is 75, and so on. Class mark, I have taken the deviations. What is the first deviation here? And then before deviations, I am taking the assumed mean. The assumed mean, there are two middle values, 125 and 175. I have taken 125 as the assumed mean. Okay. I have taken 125. You can also take 175. So here for the first deviation, you have d is equal to x minus, since I have taken 125, so it will remain 125 throughout. For the first one, what is the value of x here? X here is 25. So 25 minus 125 will give you a minus 100, which I have here. Okay, say for here, d is x minus 125. In this case, what is x here? In this case, x here is 225. This one, 225. 225 minus 125. Assume mean remains the same throughout. Okay, so which is 100. So I've got 100 here. And so this is where you construct your deviations. I'm repeating this so that it becomes fixed in your mind. I've done this again by step deviation method. Okay. You can apply your deviation method also. Okay. Since no method is specified here, you can apply deviation method also. Okay. So what I have done after calculating the deviations, I've made the next column y is equal to d by c. Okay. In y is equal to d by c, c is the class width. And here in this case, what is the class width? Class width here is 50 minus 0, 100 minus 50. So class width here is 50. So d by 50. So each d has to be divided by 50. For the first one, we have minus 100 divided by 50 will give you minus 2. Minus 150 divided by minus 2 will give you a minus 1. Okay, 0 divided by 50 will give you a 0. 50 divided by 50 will give you a 1, 100 by 50 will give you 2, and 150 by 50 will give you 3. So in this way, you construct your column for y. Okay. And the last column that we make is the product of f and y, because in the mean formula we have a plus summation fy by summation f into c. Okay, this is the formula for step deviation method. Okay, so since I have this fy, so I'll make this fy column. So fy is the product 8 into minus 2 will give you minus 16 here. 15 into minus 1 will give you a minus 15. 32 into 0 will give you a 0. 26 into 1 will give you a 26. 12 into 2 will give you a 24. 7 into 3 will give you a 21. And you add up this column. You add up this column to get your summation fy. Summation fy you get as 40. And since you have a summation f also here, you add up this column also, summation f. So you get summation f is equal to 100. Okay. So now you put these values in the formula and you will get. So your assumed mean here is 125 plus sigma fy is 40, sigma f is 100, and the class width, each class width here is 50. So this will cancel with 2 and this will 20. You get 125 plus, which is 145. This is your required mean. Okay. So I stop here for today.